Codeine cough syrup is causing a plague of addiction across Nigeria.
This thing is a serious issue. It is biting everybody. It is going from one home to another. If you think you are safe, you are not safe.
Those hooked risk organ failure and even descent into madness.
He's shouting.
He's screaming. He's still in withdrawal syndrome now. He's still having this withdrawal issue now.
Addicts are being clapped in chains because syrup has turned them into thugs.
I don't want you to get close to him.
This is what cough syrup does.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever get used to this.
I weep for this nation because they don't even know what they're doing. They don't even know what they are taking.
Africa Eye goes undercover, exposing the crooks and professionals putting industrial quantities of syrup on Nigeria streets. We will take you into a criminal underworld where pharmaceutical company managers act like drug barons. We join crack anti-drug squads putting their lives on the line to smash syrup cartels.
This is the front line against the war on syrup. This is unbelievable.
And we ask, is the government doing enough to stop the people behind this?
These drugs are not coming from the moon. They're not coming from under the sea. They are manufactured somewhere. They're transported from one place to the other. Are we saying that we don't know? Come on.
People all over the world are addicted to cough syrup with codeine. It's a medicine that has become a street drug. A sweet, sweet strawberry taste that makes you high and hooks you. Over time, it will kill you. I can search my Facebook page and find hundreds of videos of people getting high. It's in America, it's in South Africa, it's in my country, Nigeria. In just 2 states, the government says 3 million bottles are consumed every single day.
A lot of these people have no idea what they're getting into. They have no idea that as much as it's a recreational hip thing, cough syrup is very addictive and it will take them to places they do not want to go.
It's so bad our government is sending armies of drug agents to destroy syrup. They raid our cities in the dead of night. The National Drug Law and Enforcement Agency, or NDLEA, are out on the streets every week in northern Nigeria. Squads of agents ready to take on heavily armed drug gangs. Tonight, they are not looking for heroin or crack cocaine. They are looking for codeine cough syrup. As the NDLEA trucks pulled up, people scattered and hid. The SWAT team storms CD hotels looking for dealers and users.
There's a heavy smell of weed.
Officers told us men take women to these hotels for sex, often drugging them first with a codeine cough syrup cocktail. Mixed with Coca-Cola, the women get high and vulnerable to rape.
Everywhere is being searched, even Coke bottles. bottles are being sniffed.
In one room, we found 2 men having sex with a young woman, while 2 other men watched.
Dress up. Dress up.
The agents found an empty bottle of Biolin codeine cough syrup hidden in the roof.
Call this bottle, please. It's Biolin.
This is the front line against the war on syrup. This is how serious taking codeine is. It's unbelievable.
More than 20 people were arrested. Huge amounts of taxpayers' money is being spent on fighting codeine cough syrup. But we are not winning this war. The criminals are too smart and too many, so the syrup keeps on flowing. It's not hard to find Nigeria's boys getting their syrup high.
Person won't get them. How I will get them? How easy to get them for street?
It's very easy. The more we like it, the more we get it. Even now, if you like, it's easy for me to put it for you.
It's not hard to find Nigeria's syrup girls either. Even religious women drink it. Campaigners who want codeine syrup banned believe the scale of this problem is massive.
Most extended families have had an experience of cough syrup addiction, either by a boy or a girl or even a parent. So it's beyond every imagination you could think of.
Has anybody asked the obvious question in Nigeria? Where is all this syrup coming from? And how does it get on our streets? I suspected crooks inside Nigerian pharmaceutical companies might be secretly selling it to the underworld. But in order to prove this, I needed to work with the best. When it comes to digging out corruption in Nigeria, few are better than Adejuwon Soyinka, the editor of BBC Pidgin. We began at the bottom of the food chain, meeting with dealers and cult gang members in Lagos. If we spoke to these criminals openly as journalists, we could have been killed.
We needed to deploy secret filming equipment. I mean, that's the only way of being able to do this and remaining alive, actually. I had to create a new identity for myself and presented myself as a businessman who is really very greedy and, is willing to go into any business that is able to bring in money.
So we came up with the most despicable cover story for Adejuwon you can imagine. He pretended he was a businessman who wanted to buy large amounts of syrup to sell to students and children.
I'm coming towards you now.
Going under the fake name Mr. Johnson, Adejuwon made his way through gang contacts, pushing for links to crooks in pharmaceutical companies, where everyone was suspicious of police agents. Eventually, we got our first big break.
So, I park in such a way to get me.
These early stages were very nerve-wracking. They were scary for every single member of the team.
Sources gave us a tip-off about a major supplier to the black market, a pharmacist called Mr. Pascal. On the surface, he runs a normal pharmacy, but behind the scenes, he illegally sells cough syrup to gangs. He does this, we later found out, with the help of a corrupt employee working for Lagos-based Emzor Pharmaceuticals, one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in Nigeria.
I was introduced to this guy by the guys in the underworld. They belong to a network, so I was worried, could they possibly spring a surprise? But as it turned out, they were willing to do business.
Okay. Anyway, yeah?
Anyway,
sure.
It took a while to even encourage or convince the pharmacist that I actually meant business. It was basically asking probing questions, wanting to know who I was and where I came from, and check out my claims to being a genuine businessman.
I can go to the market and meet my Amazon distributor. I tell him I need 100 cartons. We'll make it available for you. But if you go, they cannot even sell 1 carton to you. Because they don't know who you are. Everybody's being cautious. You understand? I wouldn't want something that will land me up in the police net or NDLEA net or anything on the other day.
Eventually, when he got convinced that I actually meant business, then he opened up and told me about how the business is conducted and how he gets his own supplies from sales reps of pharmaceutical companies.
Okay. I do distributorship. Okay. I do distribution for EMSO. These products, if I want to get them, it's going to be easy for me. I will establish a relationship between you and the reps of the brands you work. Okay. I'll call them, they will come. I'll tell them.
So he takes products from pharmaceutical companies and then rather than sell with prescription, passes them on to the underworld where these things are sold openly on the streets to young boys who basically abuse it and get high on syrup with codeine. So that's what he does. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. I will expect your call later today, or should I call you? What time should I call you?
I'll call you before the day runs out.
Before the day runs out.
By the end of the meeting, Mr. Pascal agreed a deal. He would set up a meeting for us with a man from EMSO Pharmaceuticals who supplies the black market direct from the EMSO factory.
And once that first break came, it became a waterfall.
Unlike most street drugs, codeine cough syrup is produced on an industrial scale. Dozens of Nigerian companies legally manufacture it. It is not illegal to drink codeine, but it is to sell it to people without a doctor's prescription or a pharmaceutical license. Vast quantities are seized and destroyed by the government every year, tons of it in northern Nigeria last year. But even this fire has hardly even singed the illegal trade. In Lagos, syrup's impact has become crazy. One pharmacy has been forced to turn into a fortress to defend itself against thirsty codeine addicts.
So when we first opened the pharmacy, we did not have this particular burglar proof. We had just the security door. And over time, we had to install this because of the challenges we were having with security. People who come in for the syrups, and rubbers and the rest, so we had to install this.
Mr. Idowu stopped selling syrup in 2010, but this hasn't stopped addicts wanting their codeine fix from trying to attack his staff.
Thank you. Hold on for the change.
Business is now done through security bars and CCTV monitors everything.
They just come, codeine, or they code, give me code. I'm like, these guys, you are too young for this. You don't even know what you're taking.
From Tottenham.
Just down the road from Turmeric Pharmacy, we found guys openly drinking codeine syrup at a bar.
Do these people actually know the negative side effects of this product? What it will do to them psychologically, physiologically, you know, how it damages their organs and the rest. And I weep for this nation because they don't even know. They don't even know what they're doing. They don't even know what they're asking for.
Codeine addiction could lead to a number of things. It could lead to almost every organ failure. People can have inflammation of the pancreas, pancreatitis. People could have liver damage. People could have kidney damage. You could have all kinds of damages. That is even in the long run. In the short run, people become schizophrenic, literally mad.
The day after our first meeting with corrupt pharmacist Mr. Pascal, we met him again at a restaurant, and as promised, he brought with him an Emzor employee to discuss an illegal cough syrup deal. We could never have imagined who he would bring. Not a small-time factory worker, but a business development executive of Emzor Pharmaceuticals, Chukwunoye Madubike, seen on the right. Despite knowing we had no license to buy codeine syrup and wanted to sell it to students, Madubike got straight to business.
Normally, you are not a pharmacist. You don't have a pharmacy shop. Actually, supposed to sell it. You understand? That's a side. So we are here for business.
It has a deep knowledge of the distribution channel for pharmaceutical products, both official and the unofficial. And he also gave me a deeper understanding of why and into why cough syrup business is big business in the underworld.
There is a product I know if I have 1 million cartons, I sell it in a week. If you have what? 1 million cartons, I can sell it in a week. It's a product that the demand is higher than even the production, higher than even the supply.
Telling me, look, this product is highly addictive, so you will make your money. You will make your money because you can mark up the price, and those who consume it, because they are hooked on this product, on codeine, they have no choice but to buy cough syrup with codeine from you at whatever price you have placed on it.
I come and there's no money. They wouldn't mind dropping, giving you the key of this motor and carry, but satisfy the urge. Satisfy that urge. Being so much smart and vigilant is a price that this thing.
The biggest irony of this is that this meeting held on a Sunday. So this business executive of Emzor Pharmaceuticals, who is clearly making money, feeding on the back of the addictive nature of cough syrup with codeine, came straight from church to hold this meeting with me.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I look forward to us doing very, very useful, good business.
I said, nobody has ever met me on business and regretted it.
We left that meeting with a deal sealed. Madubike agreed to sell us a carton of 60 bottles of cough syrup with codeine, straight out of the Emzor factory. Codeine cough syrup is personal to me. Showing you who is responsible for the codeine addiction is my story too.
Yeah, this is C. As a baby, this would have been early 80s. Very handsome child. Still handsome. And I still love him. A lot.
My brother, who is called C, has struggled with addiction. He didn't want to appear in this film, but has agreed I can tell his story. He has taught me what addiction can do. His troubles began a few years ago after our father, Godwin Agboko, an investigative journalist like me, was assassinated. My family found out the terrible news in a phone call from my then newspaper editor.
He said, Rona, I can't lie to you. We have to go to press. And I just realized nobody has told you people. And I said, wait. Sir, what's going on? And he said, your dad is dead. I'm not going to lie. This is the first time I'm going to say it openly. I felt relief. I felt relief because we knew he was going to be killed for a long time. There were so many threats, so many. We've had people follow us because of what you used to write.
My father was killed for fighting injustice, and it tore our family apart. I went the way of work, and my brother went the way of drug addiction. Grief pushed him into a bad crowd, as it does with many addicts I have met.
Sometimes think, my dad was here. Would things be like this? But, you know, who's to say things wouldn't be like this, eh? Could still be like this.
Once he fell into addiction, he quit school, disappearing for months. I found out he was using codeine syrup through messages on his Facebook page. Some journalists pursue stories for fun or for money. I'm pursuing cough syrup in anger, in rage, in love. I do it in memory of my father. I do it for the love of my brother.
If I can stop just one family, one person from going through this, if one person can see what signs to look out for, then I think I would have done my job. Yeah.
A few days after our first meeting with Emzo executive Madubike, he called and gave us a location for our cough syrup drug deal. A hotel on his turf in the Lagos suburb of Isolo. We booked a room at the hotel and drove there with a bag stuffed with cash to make the purchase. Adejuwon met Madubike in the bar.
Hey, my brother Hannah. Oh, you did, I work. How's everything? Well done. Good evening. When I walked into that bar, he gave me the impression that he came alone. But I noticed that there were about 5 young men who sat in different corners of the bar and pretended like they didn't know him. But I got a sense when I walked in that there was a connection between all of them. And I could sense that they were sizing me up. Bring it, and we just go upstairs together. You know, at every point, there was the fear that they may just have discovered who I really am and maybe setting up a trap for me to just walk in and take me out, because these are boys who could be armed. This third floor, they go put me.
The places where we had to do these deals in Isolo were at the bottom of the ladder. And understandably so, because that's where this type of criminal activity will thrive. That's where it's better protected. That's where the henchmen are. That's where the foot soldiers live.
Sorry, that is my friend.
Okay.
Oscar.
Okay.
Oscar, this is my friend as well, my business colleague too, Mr. Johnson.
Hi, Oscar, how are you? Good to see you. Well, Oscar, can you help me bring the
stuff?
Product?
No, take this one, take it, tear it.
A pack of Emzolin codeine syrup was put on the table.
That's it, okay. So this is 2, 4, 6, 10. I asked him, how do I know if what I was buying was fake? He brought out, opened the carton by himself, brought out a bottle of Emzolin, and showed me several signs that I could use to know if I was buying fake or not.
Okay. Now, this is the batch number.
It's on the...
When you look at it, this is L.
Okay.
974W.
Yeah. Yeah.
974W. That's the batch number of it.
While he was saying all of that, all that was going through my mind was how many lives had been ruined by cough syrup with codeine, the same product that this guy was selling to me, knowing full well that I was going to potentially distribute this to university students, to children who have been sent to school to learn.
But hence I released to you. You started from the oven. It's an oven bed.
It's an oven bed. Fresh.
It's an oven bed.
Freshly baked.
Look at how it's sealed. It's sealed with Let me tell you one thing. This is like an addict. When somebody is addicted to something, she gets, and he needs it. The price, I don't think, is an issue. And when the person knows that he gets the best quality, he go for him.
Yeah, I get the cash, Jerry. The fact that he knew that this was addictive, he actually told me himself about how addictive the product is. He had no qualm selling a carton of 60 bottles to me.
It's not true.
It's complete, I mean.
How much is it?
After this meeting with this gentleman, it was clear to us that Emzo Pharmaceuticals is leaking cough syrup with codeine. And it's leaking that directly to the underworld and fueling addiction on the streets of Nigeria.
Go and do exploit. Yes. Yeah. You understand? Let me tell you one thing about the business. I'm a core business person. It was something that would benefit him. Yeah. And at the same time benefit you. You are working on trust. He may not be here.
And of course, he's been calling me ever since then. He started calling me 4 or 5 days after making that drop off because he wanted more money.
Adejuwon poured the Emzo syrup down into the Lagos sewer. We didn't want it to end up on the black market or in the hands of an addict. Emzo Pharmaceuticals told us it's investigating Mr. Madubike, adding he has access to a very limited amount of Emzoline with codeine and could not possibly sell large quantities illegally. The company says it is a responsible and compliant business, is reviewing distribution policies and treating our findings with the utmost seriousness. Mr. Pascal and Stella Charles Pharmacy did not respond to us.
This, like the evidence, say people they sell codeine products without prescription. And as we don't gather this evidence now, our only hope is say this our wahala no go be for nothing. Say government go wake up. Say pharmaceutical industry go wake up. Say pharmacists within Nigeria and all over Africa go wake up. And go make sure say this kind thing no go dey happen again. To make sure say young people know they get access to this kind thing for the street. Because now this kind thing they destroy their life.
"1,100 kilometers north of Lagos in Kano, the volume of cough syrup leaking out of pharmaceutical companies and onto the black market is clear. The head of the Drug Enforcement Agency in the city, Commander Hamza Umar, showed me his storage rooms, where drugs seized from criminals are kept.
Going inside the main store where these exhibits are kept, right inside you can see.
Wow. Inside the store is a mountain of drugs, cocaine, heroin, weed, but also thousands of bottles of cough syrup intended for the streets. It's hidden in rice sacks, bags, and even wedding gifts.
Everything you see here is codeine. Everything. Let me read some of this glass. You can see them many.
You can hear the sound of the bottles.
You can hear the sound. You can hear the bottles. All is codeine. If you like, you can look at the heavy ones. All is codeine. You can see these ones, they are white.
That's 25
all
kilograms.
All is codeine, but too heavy. It's more than that.
Yeah.
You can hear the way it sounds. All is codeine.
It wasn't just sacks. Some of the syrup looked as though it came straight out of the factory.
Now here, you can see we have tons of it.
Just one product?
Just one product and seized from one person.
One person had
yes,
this?
Yes.
The war against cough syrup in Kano is overwhelming.
This thing is spreading like bushfire in a dry savanna. And we are seeing the rate this thing is moving. We are getting towards a hopeless society. And it costs all class, no matter the level, rich and poor, educated and illiterate, a beggar and a toddler.
But this must be a very huge drain on your resources, on your budget, and even on your men.
It is. And don't forget, this is what we are able to arrest. We may not arrest 10%, considering our capacity, our logistics, and the men.
And to take that 10% of syrup off Kano streets, Commander Hamza's men must risk their lives battling codeine gangs. Some officers have even been killed.
We raided a house and suddenly I just saw somebody with this dangerous weapon.
What did he do?
He tried to, cut off my leg. But I was so lucky, it was only my flesh that he was able to remove.
He sliced off your flesh there?
Of course, yes.
The array of weapons used by gangs dealing in syrup shocked me. It's like props from a Nollywood war film, except this is real.
This chainsaw was recently even used to attack one of our officers.
Hey!
But before he could get to the person, one of our armed men took off his leg.
Shot him?
Yes. This is mostly used when they have overpowered you.
Oh dear.
In fact, they use this saw to make sure that they pieces you.
Decapitate you?
Exactly.
But while you're alive?
While you are alive.
How do you feel when your men almost lose their lives trying to stop cough syrup from getting on the streets?
Sad, very terrible. It's seriously a hectic task.
Stopping cough syrup?
Yes, it is. It is seriously a hectic task.
Almost all of the cough syrup I saw in the commander's storage rooms were produced by two companies, Peace Standard Pharmaceuticals and Bioraj. The city of Ilorin in central Nigeria is the codeine cough syrup capital of the country. Tons and tons is produced here every year. It's where the Peace Standard and Bioraj factories are based. We checked into a hotel, remaining undercover throughout our stay, disguising ourselves as business people with cash in our suitcases, hungry to buy cough syrup from the black market. Syrup dealers were everywhere. We couldn't trust anyone.
Sometimes you could get a sense that people were trying to eavesdrop on our conversation. You know, they were actually really after understanding who we were and what we were doing there and trying to get to know exactly what we came for.
Peace Standard Pharmaceuticals has a large factory on the edge of Ilorin. We got an invitation to meet with a senior figure at the company, Superintendent Pharmacist Mr. Kamaldeen Abu Said.
It's a fairly big premises.
Mr. Abu Said told us we should mention his name at the gate. And immediately we did that, it was like open sesame. We were ushered in.
The superintendent pharmacist, Mr. Abu Said, had been called before government authorities just a few weeks before we arrived to explain why their codeine syrup was on the black market. We wondered, would he be willing to do a syrup deal with us?
Morning. Morning. How are you today? Thank you. Oh, here, okay.
As soon as we mentioned cough syrup, he did not flinch. He did not waver. He did not betray any emotion, other than to lean forward and tell us to continue speaking.
You know, some of my friends mentioned to me the fact that codeine business is doing well. But there's a caveat. As we both know, I would require some form of permit to be able to sell or even take products, which I do not have, and which I believe I cannot possibly get because I am not a certified pharmacist. But I'm hoping that I can get products, and actually my target market in Ogun State is students, because I hear that these products move a lot among students.
The long and short of it is that I'm ready to do business with you, like you said. Although I must also state that that product is a very scarce product.
Instead of throwing us out of his office, Abu Said was prepared to do business, but only if a smokescreen was in place.
I'm not supposed, I'm meeting you for the first time, but I feel I should open up some things to you, to tell you the nitty-gritty. For example, in your own case now, if on a normal platform, if I want to release it to you, you must have a pharmacist fronting for you.
Okay.
Do you get that will front for you when you need to collect such things? Maybe you have a business agreement with them.
So you now help us supply.
You will now supply through
that pharmacy outlet.
Okay. Then you get.
Supplying a pharmacy outlet is legal, but supplying that outlet in the full knowledge it is a front for black market buyers is not. We outlined the plan again just to be sure this was what Mr. Abu Said was advising.
Suppose we start by, say, attaching ourselves to
a pharmacy outlet,
that is already able to take products from you, and just for the purpose of smoke screen to have other products in and then have the codeine product out. That is primarily our target. Can we go through that process?
You can now. That's why I'm advising you.
Here is a pharmacist, respected, senior, known in the industry, contributed to academic journals, and he was teaching me how to beat the system, how to subvert the system.
Peace Standard told us Mr. Abu Said did not teach us to subvert the system or advise setting up a front. It said the company does not supply syrup with codeine illegally and only supplies accredited outlets. With syrup finding its way out of pharmaceutical companies and onto our streets, it's no surprise we have millions of addicts in this country. Some of them end up in government rehabilitation centers alongside people with mental illness. I visited this one in Kano. It's one of a dozen in the state. It's a place of nightmares. This cough syrup addict was found out of control in the city, arrested and brought into the center a few days before.
He's shouting. He's screaming. He's still in withdrawal syndrome now. He's still having his withdrawal issue now.
Staff chained him to a tree. He was too violent to be close to others.
This is what cough syrup does. This can be anyone's brother.
Yeah, of course.
Can be anyone's husband.
Yeah, exactly.
This can be anyone's family member. And so the only way to stop it is for people to stop selling this thing to people.
Exactly.
They need to stop selling it.
The rehab center does not have the funds to deal with the number of syrup patients it receives. Addicts are often chained to the floor. Overuse of codeine affects the brain, causes insanity in some cases, and some addicts become violent. They will stay like this for weeks swarming with flies. No books, no television, nothing. And still, they keep coming.
As I'm talking to you, it's alarming. For every week that passes, before we could get maybe 2 or 3 within a week, but now we 6, 7, 8, sometimes even 10 within a week.
Many of the cough syrup addicts are suffering, shivering and unstable with withdrawal symptoms. I spoke to a young man chained to the floor. We agreed to hide faces out of respect.
Gaskiya taɓarɓarewar yana da yawa saboda yawancin mu gaskiya ba wuya an samu mahaukaci gaba ɗaya tuburan sosai ma ba yi wasa ba. Yanzu za ka ga an samu mahaukaci ba da daɗewa ba.
In one room, we found a girl of just 16 years. She's been in the center 2 months, feeling weak and still shaking as the syrup leaves her system. Her message to others is simple.
Ina san gaskiya kan masu fara idan ma suna so su fara saboda ba abu ne mai kyau ba. In suka ce za su yi za su sha wuya.
It really breaks my heart to see children like this and see young men like this. Honestly, it's really, really bad. And everybody knows the situation of this codeine now. No, it's not a hidden thing. We can't lie to ourselves, and we can't deceive anybody. The truth should be told. And we are saying it out, that this thing is a serious issue. It is biting everybody. It is going from one home to another. If you think you are safe, you are not safe.
Just before I left the rehab center, a boy was brought in, having been found on the street. He was delirious and soon became unconscious. Doctors struggled to find a vein to revive him with a drip. Three days later, this boy was dead. And Sani couldn't rule out cough syrup abuse, although we'll never know for sure. What is sure, Sani later told us, is that this is what cough syrup can do. As I left this place, I understood why some people say cough syrup is killing a generation. My worst nightmare is to imagine my brother in a place like this. Further south in Ilorin, our investigation took a new turn when we set our sights on Bioraj, the company whose boxes of Biolin syrup were stacked in the NDLEA store in Kano. Sources had told us the factory was leaking huge amounts of syrup. Adejuwon placed a call to a Bioraj sales representative and told him we wanted to buy cough syrup without papers. He immediately set up a meeting.
So on Sunday morning, I went to the factory as agreed, and it turned out that I was not only meeting the sales rep, he had also set up a meeting with the store manager of Bioraj.
Adejuwon met the sales representative Al Monsuru first. He came out of the factory and greeted him in front of the gate.
How are you, my brother? How's everything?
What was so crazy about the Bioraj filming was we were invited into the premises of the company to buy, purchase, and take away cough syrup. We didn't have to sneak into this company. We were literally welcomed into the company to come and buy cough syrup without papers.
Yes. You can leave it. You get it. This is factory now. This is factory, not the.
not stop.
Sorry.
It's battery. Okay. Yes, even we need 500 calories. You don't have much.
But you need to call me now.
I thought I was going to impress them by saying, well, I wanted to buy like 5 cartons to start with and test the market. So when I said 5 cartons, the store manager looked at me and smiled. I said, well, that he could understand that I wanted to start small. So otherwise, if I wanted 1,000 cartons of Baolin, they could give it to me.
You need to call me now. Within 3 days, we produce it for you.
So, but even the large quantity, because we need I'm going to be 1,000 cartons.
You're joking.
So I'm telling you to be fast.
That literally blew me off my feet. So one individual takes a shipment, a delivery of, how many bottles is that? About 60,000 bottles of cough syrup with codeine off Bauraj factory in one deal, just one single deal. And you know what? They also told me that these individuals exhaust this product in about a month. And they are back for another delivery.
Our boys start failing. So, around 2010, so we'll see.
Big quantity, we have 100 cartons.
Because sometimes you want all the silly. So, especially codeine, anything one, only example coach. I want to stop. One thing I've used it. So, I want to stop. I'm area, although I know the problem.
How is it that pharmaceutical companies can have individuals in there that let out this huge amounts of cough syrup straight into the black market? It's quite hard to be able to understand how this leaves the companies and no one is vetting, no one is checking.
And then it was time for us to pay for the syrup.
43, are we? 43,200. So I just need to retrieve. Ben.
So it's not there is only more stopping you can take back. The stopping can take back to the pay back to the town learn more. No more the stop can have to tell me more than
So she bear the invoice at the receipt.
Except one buy other product. One buy other product, this receipt you can write it for you can't write it.
Go to bed 1,000 cartons.
How many people are talking about it? What is government doing? Has anybody been convicted? I mean, these drugs are not coming from the moon. They're not coming from under the sea. They are manufactured somewhere. They're transported from one place to the other. Are we saying that we don't know? Come on.
They brought out a carton of 60 bottles of syrup for us and took off the label to cover their crime.
Baba Beji, nice to meet you.
In a Bauraj statement, both Baba Ibeji and Mr. Al Monsuru deny selling Baolin illegally. The company told us Mr. Al Monsuru actually left them in 2016. Bauraj chairman Bioku Rahamon said the company only sells codeine cough syrup legitimately and he personally guards sales of Baolin.
So they make this much money selling addictive cough syrup with codeine to people. And you know the irony of it? Their motto says, your health is our concern. Rather very sadly ironic.
Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari has publicly expressed his concern over my country's cough syrup epidemic. A special government committee was set up last October to address it. But why has nobody asked the hard questions? Are companies that make cough syrup responsible for our codeine addicts? Are government regulators monitoring these companies properly?
What are they monitoring? What are they following? I don't know. There are just too many unanswered questions. There are just too many unanswered questions why people don't do their own jobs. There are just too many unanswered questions. It's so sad. Every time I talk about it, I really get angry. I really get angry on the verge of crying.
We destroyed all the biolin we bought. Every drop of it went down the drain.
It's so thick. Oh, this is disgusting. Nyama. Ugh. I think we've done what the job we're supposed to do as journalists. If one person can be saved from getting deeper into their habit or starting a codeine habit, yeah, then our job is done. Yeah.